Hey everyone, so today we're gonna have a very quick video, and I know very unusual for me, especially these past videos. It's been insane. So today we're gonna cover my UI, which is the most asked question in every single upload is what is that UI, what is that add-on, can we get that profile, and etc, etc. So today we're gonna cover that, everything that we're gonna talk about from the add-on that we have here, which is Elvui. To download that, my profiles and all of that, everything is down below in the description, okay? So how can you set up Elvui? Well, when you get Elvui for the first time, and basically also everything that you see here, everything from inventory to your character panel right here, your minimap, everything Elvui touches on, okay? Elvui pretty much changes everything. Now it is customizable, so you can change things to your own liking, but first, before we get there, let's first go through how you can use my profile. So when you first get Elvui, you're likely going to get something that looks like this, okay? Pretty basic. You're gonna get something like this. So how can you use my profile? Pretty simple, okay? So down in the description, you're gonna find a notepad, something of the sort, the text basically, and what you want to do is that you want to import profile. You're gonna copy the text that is on that file that I shared with you, and you're just simply gonna copy it, and then you're gonna import. I label it as Selwen SL Shadowlands. You accept it, and you pretty much are done. Okay, that's it. Nothing else to it. Now you can change a couple of things because my UI is super simple. There's not much to it and doesn't have a lot of customization. Okay, so you can change a couple of things around. So for example, you can click toggle anchors and you can change some things around. Maybe it's not perfect to your liking. Maybe you want target cast bars, for an example, to be further up, further down, some other place. Maybe you want your player frame further down or some other side, or the class totems, or the stance bar, something of the sort. Maybe your pet bar, maybe you want it somewhere else. So it's super simple. You just move it around. Okay. Now you do have a lot more customization in pretty much everything, but I'm not going to go over everything because it would make this video huge. But it's pretty simple. You can spend some time here and mess around with things that you do not particularly like. Say be with chat or action bars. Maybe you want your action bars to be smaller or bigger, because I do play at 4K, so I'm not entirely sure how this translates to 1080p or 1440p. Okay, so there's that to consider, so do let me know if it works out all right. You can add a bottom panel here. I usually remove these bars that Elvui comes with because I feel constrained with them. I don't like seeing them, so I always remove that. You also have a top one and things like that. Now, a couple of hidden things that I do have on my Elvui, which you don't see in the videos, is that I do have a couple of hidden bars. Okay, so I do have my menu bar right here because I enjoy having it. I do have keybinds for most of these things, but I always like having this, so it's hidden up right here because you don't need to see it all the time. You just mouse over it and it appears. And then you also have a couple of other bars that are hidden right here. Usually I keep my mounts here and maybe my profession, shortcuts, maybe some consumables that I don't need to have a quick access. Okay, I place them up here. Maybe I place my favorite mounts here. Obviously this is beta, so it's pretty much empty, but you get what I mean. This is a great place to put your consumables because you don't need to see them all the time, but you don't want to open your inventory all the time, so you just go here and click them and you're nice and hidden, so you can have a clear view of the game. Okay, so that's Elvui. Other add-ons that I'm using, main ones, I'm not going to go over all of them. Maybe I'll add them in the description, but details is my damage meter, is in my opinion by far the best one you can find. And also there's Weakauras. Now I do not make my own Weakauras. I don't think I'm at that point yet, but I do use very popular auras from your usual suspects, which they are simply amazing. And one day I would like to do my auras because I always find most auras that are around to be too much. They're covering way too much things. I like them to be a little bit cleaner, to have less things on them, because I do find them to be a bit overbearing. Maybe one day, and if I do that, I'll make sure to let you know and share them, okay? So that pretty much covers everything. One thing to note is that on Elvui, to get Elvui, you do need to go to their website to download. But if you get WowUp.io, which is your add-on manager that a lot of people are using currently, especially since Curse move over to Overwolf, and if WowUp.io still continues to exist, it does allow you to update Elvui without actually going to the website all the time. But feel free to support the guys over there at Elvui because they really do an amazing job. Okay, so yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. Just get the file, copy it, import it, and done. Now, you do have a couple of things that you can do which doesn't copy over with a profile, and that is on skins, okay? So usually I remove some of these because I don't like the look of them. It's just a personal preference, and they sometimes can mess up a little bit with the interface of the game. So basically Elvui touches on everything, and some of these are going to be on character frame, as I said, the character panel. Some of these are going to be on the new interfaces that you're going to find in Shadowlands with your covenants. And in the beta, some of them were a bit messed up. So if you find some of them messed up, you simply uncheck them and you get back to your classic Blizzard frames. Or maybe you don't like them because they usually change them a lot to be super minimalistic, and sometimes I do like to see some of the Blizzard art in some of these UI elements. So this is something that you can also do. Now, actually, I've been forgetting, there's also a healer profile. Now, the healer profile is probably not going to appeal to everyone, and I went back and forth, so actually I don't even remember which one I'm using here. So you can set up different profiles for your different specs. So for an example, I'm on default here, but I have Selwen Shadowlands for my shadow specs, so my DPS specs, tank specs are going to use this one. But once you change to a healing spec, you can set up a profile like you saw there to change automatically. Now let me see which one I'm using. Okay, so I'm using this one, which a lot of healers probably not really gonna like. You can move these bars pretty simple. I just like my bars at the bottom because it makes me feel good, but that's me. But you do have the party frames and the raid frames here. Now, Elvui frames are not the best when it comes to healing. Some people are gonna stand by voodoo and stuff like that. I'm not a main healer, so I'm not gonna say too much on that subject. So, get whatever frames you want to get. Elvui ones look great, but sometimes debuffs don't actually appear, and then you have to configure all of that. So, but this is how it's set up. You have your party frames and raid frames right here at the center, so you can easily, heal your group. And you have the bars down here. I don't know why there's this icon there, but I guess it doesn't matter. But if you don't like the bars here, okay, if maybe you want to move them here, like I had on some videos in the past, or maybe you want to move them all the way up over there, okay? You can simply do that by clicking the toggle anchors, and you can simply move that if you don't like its placing, okay? Pretty simple, but everything else should be fine, I think, should be fine. The hidden bars and all of that is still all in place. There's not a lot of changes there. But everything should be fine. The pet bar is there, but I don't think it matters because there's not healers with pets. Anyway, so that's how it's going to work for both of those profiles, and how to set all of that up. Pretty simple. So go right ahead and use that. You're free to use that all you want, and I hope you enjoy it. And also, if you're coming over, because I did experience this when I first started using Elvui like 4 years ago, before Legion, and I started using it because of Preach, because I thought that this UI looked great, like many of you guys that now watch my videos, is that it took me a while to get used to it, because at first I didn't really like it, like I couldn't get over, so I just continued to use the classic Blizzard frames with Bartender, and that's fine. If you don't like it, just don't use it, because I did find it cool at first. I like how it looked aesthetically, but I couldn't get used to it. Now, over time, I kind of pushed myself to use it because I did like it and I did want to use it. So if you are in that position, just give it some time. You will get used to it because it is a big difference, especially if you're coming over from the classic, the default Blizzard frames or even Bartender. Okay, so that's it. Hope you enjoy it, and have fun in Shadowlands. Do remember to watch my next guide, which is on the Maw. Okay, tomorrow, just at the release day, and enjoy Shadowlands. I for sure will, and probably see you next time. Next time, should we start the class guides maybe, but will take a while because we do have the leveling business, and I do want to have some fun in Shadowlands. Okay, so yeah, guys, have fun, enjoy the UI, enjoy Shadowlands, and I'll see you all next time.